Hello everyone, Bashar here. So it is time, it's actually a little late, but it's still time for our standard Fusion calendar review. I'm doing this with hopes of you guys wasting or over expanding resources. So let's get started. I am a little bit late this time, I know, I'm sorry. So we are on the 3rd of August, which is the third day of the Fusion, right? We are here. So let's get to it. So what do we have? We have the classical 4 dungeon tournaments, the now classic 3 dungeon divers, 3 artifact enhancements, 1 champion training tournament and event, 1 summon rush and 1 champion chase, which this champion chase would be ancients, right? We just had void, so it will be ancients. Yes, that's correct. I mean, unless there is something that changes, but I don't think so. We'll see. Then the again classic 2 arena tournaments. So that means, guys, finally we have a bit of a locked schedule. Every once and then there will be changes, but this schedule is pretty much a classic now. As I said, 4 dungeon tournaments, 3 dungeon divers, 3 artifact enhancements, that's 10, 1 champion training tournament and an event, that's 12, 2 arena tournaments, that's 14, 1 summon rush and 1 champion chase, that's 16. And as you know, there are generally 16 activities during the course of a fusion. So yeah, that's about it. So there is nothing different this time around. So this time around it's a classical fusion. Every single activity will give us 1 rare, and we will fuse those rares, the branch arm lesser, into both the rancid, and we will be able to fuse 4 both the rancids into Skorid the Halfspawn. So the rare being void will be a little bit of a help towards champion chase. So what we could do here, let's just go over, and we have an extra epic in there. Let's just go our classical method, and then I will tell you how to min-max for the champion chase for additional points. So guys, day 1 the Dragon tournament starts alongside with the champion training tournament. Right? Day 2, which was yesterday, summon rush and dungeon diver starts, which means you should have held off in the dragon tournament on day 1. Sadly, a few people tell me they have gone hard at dragon on day 1. That is of course a waste, because you are not double dipping, right? On the first day you go hard at the champion training tournament, then on the second day after the dungeon diver starts you start playing the dragon tournament, so you get points on the dungeon divers as well. Then today we had the arena tournament and artifact enhancement start, right? So we use the stuff that you obtained during the dragon tournament, right? We cleanse those stuff, right? Upgrade as necessary and get the artifact enhancement done. Tomorrow the dragon will end and spider will start, which we will use to finish the dungeon divers. And also you could use the spider stuff to get the artifact enhancement done. But I will remind you, the accessories are on average about 50% more expensive than the artifacts to upgrade, and your silver will get destroyed, right? Yeah, keep that in mind. I mean, use the accessory upgrades only if you are good silver wise, right? I mean, if you have like 20 million and you go at accessories, you will have a rather bad experience there. Have to be careful, or for example, do a lot of artifacts and a few accessories, which is probably what should be done, because we also have to upgrade our accessories as well. And then the 5th is rather non-busy, right? It's the last day of the champion training. So yeah, I mean, at some point you have to go hard at the champion training. I didn't have the opportunity, but I'm thinking about finishing the Dragon Tournament today myself, and then going a little bit at the campaign, because the champion training is a little bit far from me, and the rewards are extremely good. So it's not even up for discussion to let the rewards go, I would say, right? There are the big soul tokens. There is the 6-star mythical ore. There is the legendary book. Really beautiful stuff. So we should be grabbing them all. So what I would say is, wait off for the Dragon Tournament one day, right? Go hard at Dragon afterwards, right? After Dragon gets done, stop, right? Jump into Spider tomorrow. Do Spider until Dungeon Divers event 1 is done, right? Don't do any more. Then wait for 2 days and jump into Spider back again to get some progress on the second Dungeon Divers. Then we have an absolutely free day, which is beautiful, right? I would say we might have a Sand Devil or something in there. That's the feel I'm getting, because they don't really let us do whatever we like with our energy, right? There is always something to occupy us. Maybe do Sand Devil then on the 8th we jump into the Fire Knight, we get the Dungeon Divers 2 done and stop there. And using the stuff from Spider and Fire Knight, we handle the Alpha Enhancement 2. Then the Champion Chase starts. As I said, it's going to be Ancients. And we can cleverly use our fusion resources to get the stuff done. There is something bad though. We can't fuse the Legendary. That's a bit of a problem. I mean, I was hoping, some people would have the option to fuse the Legendary during the Champion Chase itself for 500 additional points. Let's get back to that. They do the Champion Chase, and we do the rest of the Fire Knight tournament during Dungeon Divers 3. There is the Arena tournament, which is self-completing kind of. And then we do the Ice Column to finish the Dungeon Divers 3. Then we jump into the Champion Training event, and which we are quite free for. Like, that's going to be really smooth sailing. And finally, we have the third Artifact Enhancement event, which we use the Fire Knight and the Ice Column stuff to finish it off. And in the Summon Rush, there is an extra epic. So if you have the shards to spare, you can skip up to 4 activities. And the Summon Rush is pretty good. I am and I was and I am still thinking about going for it. But the annoying thing for me is it costs 10,000 points to complete, right? And I don't like the feeling when I don't complete it, right? I mean, if I'm going for a Summon Rush, which happens pretty rarely, I feel like I should be finishing and getting all of those 3 rewards. And I have 14 Sacred Shards, and I could buy the monthly pack, etc., and I would go up to 16. It's not enough, right? 8,000 points, and I just refuse to open anything and everything other than Mystery Shards and Sacred Shards during Summon Rush events. Yeah, no, I don't like that. I just want to do it with Sacreds, because the other stuff I have 2x and they go to waste. So yeah, I'm not opening those. So I will maybe go for just the rare, and for just the rare you can do a mix of things. I am planning on doing 5 sacreds and 700 mysteries. I think it's on about 2,700 points. So what we can do for the Champion Chase, guys? So these we will have to claim. There is no even discussion. These we also have to claim, so we could do something smart here, right? These 2 we can't do anything. Yeah, but this Spider tournament, you do your Spider tournament, you do not click on the rare as a reward, right? Because after the tournament ends, the leaderboard persists for about 2 or 3 days, 30 days or so, right? Which means you can do your Spider tournament, you do not click on the rare as a reward, right? This is very hard min-maxing, and I wonder if it's necessary, but it is some extra value in there. So you do not click on it, you wait 2 days, the Champion Chase starts, and you click on the reward during the champion chase, you get an extra 50 points. Yeah, would be your call. And you do not click on this Dungeon Divers one as well. And these will be during champion chase as well. So we can grab 4 additional rares for 200 points here. There is the champion chases rare, there is the Dungeon Divers rare, there is the Arena and Ice Golem tournaments rares. Champion, you would have to go hard, and Artifact is just not possible. They have prevented us from being able to grab the legendary during the champion chase. The only chance you would have is during the champion chase. We will open our ancient shards, and if you get above the rancid, then you will be able to fuse the legendary during the champion chase. Because the rares are void, there is no chance that you get the void, right? I mean, do not ever open void shards during an ancient 2x, obviously, right? So the most we can do is 200 here. Dungeon Divers would also not be very ideal. I mean, logically, we can do 200, 350. Yeah. So, you know, a regular person, min-maxing, right, not going extremely hard, would be able to grab around 350 points during the champion chase from rares only. And we would also be able to fuse 3 epics, which is going to be 750 points. So, I mean, 1,100 points. And thing is, guys, you might say this is a little bit, you know, arduous and, you know, laborious maybe, but if you are doing the fusion, it comes at no additional cost. Right? You are not doing anything extra. You are just, you know, waiting for grabbing some rewards. Everything I said has to be done anyway, right? If you are doing the fusion, you need to grab all the rares, you need to fuse the epics, so these have to be done anyway. I'm just suggesting a you know, better timing to get more value out of it. So that's gonna be, I think, nice. 1,100 points. If you are curious to how much that is, during the 2x, that is the equivalent of 22 ancient shards. I mean, a person with average luck has to open 22 ancient shards in order to reach 1,100 points. So, you know, it's not very worthless. I like it. And about the fusion, guys, I did already, you know, give my opinion. He is a good Hydra damager, it's being said, but I don't like him for Hydra too much because the only thing that he brings to the table is damage and hex. And thing is, if you are not bringing like 3 or 4 useful utilities and only damage, hex and damage is not very much, right? And then the damage would rather be, you know, great, right? We will have to see that. If the damage is great, maybe he could be used, but I don't really think so because he has only a single AoE. But, you know, we would still do it. And the reason for that is, I did explain this many times because sadly I'm hearing the suggestion of skipping fusions many times. So what's the deal? So thing is, guys, a lot of this stuff, you already have to do it. So you are playing the game regularly, right? There is no fusion, let's say, for the sake of argument, and dungeon tournaments come. Well, you have to do them, right? Because you are doing your same old dungeon, you are getting 2x on a good set, you are getting additional rewards for doing it, right? You should. The champion training is beautiful, you should be doing it, right? Arena tournaments, sure. Artifact enhancements, yes, right? And thing is, this already adds up to a lot, right? Champion training event also. So the only extras in doing the fusion, right, is the depth that you have to go in the Dungeon Divers, because normally, guys, you would finish your Dragon tournament and be done with it, right? But if you do the timing right, as I told you, you know, you wait for one day, you jump into the Dragon tournament, then you jump into Spider and do it. So at this point, you will be not very much short to grab the rare, right? That's the only extra effort that you are investing in the fusion. That's it, right? And also, there is the shards that you have to spend on the summon rush. But thing is, if you think about it, guys, you spend maybe about 1,000 energy extra for 3 dungeon divers, around that level, and you open like 4 or 5 secrets for an additional legendary, additional and brand new legendary. That is, very, very worth it, because it's not like you are throwing away the secrets. I mean, you are opening your secrets and you are getting something. You are just not doing it at the most valuable time, but still, you are getting the reward, the champion from your secret, and also you are getting the summon rush reward. So it's not that bad altogether. And I'm not even talking about the champion change, right? You should be opening your shards on 2x's anyway. So that's the only extra effort you're putting in, and I think the rewards are rather well worth it. So that's it, guys, and I will see you on stream. And another thing, one last argument just before I go, guys, doing the fusion also gives you access to additional points in the champion chase, just as we discussed, right? I mean, all those extra expenses you make give you some points in the champion chase, as a return on top of the legendary. So, and I think the combined effect of what you get versus what you give is, very acceptable. So that's why I'm suggesting every fusion should be done. And I'm not even talking about Skorid, right? I'm talking about any fusion, diverse fusion, and I'm still okay with it, right? Because, guys, it's a legendary, it's a potential faction guardian. There is the off chance that it could get buffed, as we have seen in Great of Loriaka. She used to be terrible, 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 and now she is not that terrible. She's still not very good, if we are being honest, but as I said, the chance of a buff is there. You never know. It could get useful in Synchronos, it could get useful for something. What kind of content comes, you never know, right? A lot of people a lot of champions you would not think about, but Synchronos has made them into something. So it's best to keep it, get your potential legendary. And I will see you on stream. Bye bye.